What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Prey Pursuit. Today is the part one episode of our bear hunt. So be sure to check in, give us a follow for updates for part two, and enjoy it. Welcome back to Prey Pursuit Podcast. And right now, we are currently on the road with Quintin,
How's it going?
and it is actually day two currently of our hunt.
Yeah, are we gonna just hit a recap?
Yeah, let's recap day one real quick. So, Friday, April 18th was our day one. Early in the morning, I got out to shoot my rifle and dial it in, double check everything's looking good.
What's your
And
cap again?
I'm at 300 yards right now.
Confidently?
Yeah, confidently. Um, don't want to wing anything above that just for, humane reasoning.
Yep,
Reasoning.
ethical.
Excuse me. Yeah. Um, but yeah. So, what time did we start yesterday? I picked you up around
12:30.
12:30.
That's the beauty of bear hunting. You don't have to leave super early in the morning.
Yeah, it was nice to have the morning to get ready and make sure, double check we have everything.
Yep, and then we got out to spot number 1, which was more of like a scout day and kind of figuring out what gear works and what doesn't work kind of day, which is good.
Yeah.
Pretty inconsequential, but it, we got there around 1:30.
Yep.
Decided that we wanted to go up to this one valley bowl that had a little less snowfall than everything else.
Yeah, but overall, there is a lot of snow.
Yeah, there was tons of snow. We on Thursday we got a big old storm coming in.
Yeah, definitely got a lot more snow than expected. So we kind of actually switched up right off the bat. Went to our plan B for day one. Um,
Yeah, we had two hunt areas in the mountain range we were gonna hunt. We from the road made a game plan decision that spot number 1 that we had scouted before was just too much snow.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so we decided we drove up to spot number 2 and we looked, and it seemed like the snow levels were fairly decent, but not anything close to what they were in spot number 1. So we decided that's the spot we were going to hike up.
Yeah, and it looked pretty promising from the road, at least.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely snowfall,
Yeah.
but the lower valley basins were all starting to green up as recovery, and it looked like it was going to clear up, which weather-wise it has.
Right.
But
right, and we brought snowshoes just in case. Decided not to pack them with us.
yeah,
Um,
we made a game time decision that if we were going to stay there, we were going to sleep by the truck. So we emptied out packs, took the bare essentials. Like I brought my insulation layers, so my Grumman puffy, my Grumman pants, rain jacket, just in case we got a random storm.
all the layers.
Some food, some kill kits, glassing stuff, and we just kind of huffed it up there.
Yeah, it was a tough hike to say myself.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a long hike. It was about a mile and a half up to the ridge glass point that we wanted to get to, but it was about 1,600 feet of climbing within that mile and a half. So we're doing about 100 feet, point 0.1 miles, which if you haven't done before, makes a mile and a half hike feel probably like a 5-mile hike.
Yeah, and then add snow into that.
Yeah, so we started post-holing probably about half a mile into the hike, where we were like kind of dodging around snow basins. Take a left. Sorry, I'm
long line of traffic here in the Bozeman area.
Yeah, we are currently heading to spot number 3, but this was ultimately going to be spot number 1. We just had to figure out an alternative solution, and we decided that we kind of scrambled last night and this morning. We found ourselves some bikes, some non-motorized bikes to stay legal.
Some pedal bikes.
Yeah, pedal bikes, because we're going to an area where it's open starting in May-ish, if I remember correctly, something like that. trying to stay vague-ish,
Yeah.
but essentially we were saving ourselves from a 3.94 mile hike on the road.
Yeah, just a bare road
Bare road.
with like 60 plus pounds on our backs. So,
Yeah, that would be an ankle and knee killer. So we basically, oh, that's cool.
oh yeah,
Nice little
little
pop up thing.
anglers pop up for the weekend.
But we decided that if we could find pedal bikes, because it says non-motorized vehicles allowed, and those aren't motorized vehicles, so we're staying legal.
Yeah,
We're
for
not
sure.
e-biking it, which would have been nice, but would be not legal, and decided to get out there.
Huh, I didn't know that was even considered
Yeah,
illegal.
so that's the reason why they say motorized vehicles now in a lot of places, because people were just e-biking, and it's basically a motorized
Huh.
vehicle. So like instead of saying like no side by sides, no snowmobiles, no cars, they say non-motorized vehicles. So
Wow.
because of the e-bikes,
Yeah, that's
because people were just getting around those restrictions and just ripping through on e-bikes at like 25 miles an hour.
right. Yeah, and if there's a flaw in the system, people are going to find that
Yeah.
and abuse it for sure.
Yeah, so we're staying above board, non-motorized, going do this bike, and then we're gonna set up camp at the trailhead when it opens up to national forest, and we will set up camp after that, and then we'll go hunt the front side of the mountain range tonight, and then we'll hunt the backside tomorrow, and then tomorrow night we're going to be leaving because the weather is calling for more rain, more showers.
Yeah, and we're not trying to get stuck in that on the way out.
Yeah, unless we kill a bear.
Right.
Essentially, that's our mark. If we don't kill a bear, then whatever. Unfortunately, the hunt will be cut short because of that, because I have to be back before 6 p.m. On Monday because of some roommate obligation things.
Sure. Yeah.
So we wouldn't have a chance to hunt Monday evening, which is kind of prime time for bears.
Yeah, which is all right. I mean, I feel like this spot can give us some great opportunities if they're out. If they're not,
Theoretically. So the thing what we've been worrying about is that with this big cold snap,
yeah,
they have become sedentary again, kind of just like biding their time. They got some feed all this week, going back, laying low, letting this weather kind of melt some of the snow, and then starting May again, they'll be popping up. I don't know for sure. I'm not an experienced enough bear hunter to know whether they're doing that or not. That's just the fear we have.
yeah, and yeah, that is just a really big fear.
Which in that case, I mean, we essentially are just kind of scouting for mid-May.
Yeah.
Brad took this few days off work for this weekend, but I am fortunate enough where I have like 10 days
Yeah.
in the middle of May, right after I'm out of school and before I start classes for the summer, where I'm going to be going out, and the weather will be hopefully significantly better.
Oh yeah, more green, less snow, easier hikes. Hopefully.
Nah, I don't know about easier hikes. Just a better
More
ability.
access.
Yeah, better, more access and a better ability to get back farther is
Yeah.
essentially what we will be gaining by that mid-May period. Typically, that's when most people decide to go bear hunting. I feel like in Montana, like a lot of the early season is dedicated to turkeys, and then by mid-May, people are wanting to go out for bears. I'm not a turkey hunter. I can go out for turkeys. It's not terrible to do. It's just not my piece of cake.
Yeah, and I can agree with that statement right there. It's not my piece of cake either. But speaking of turkeys, that's about the only animal I saw yesterday with that and muley.
We saw a muley, yeah.
Yeah.
We saw a mule deer, doe, or a buck. It could have had shed antlers.
Yeah.
Saw one turkey. I didn't see it, but Brad did.
Cross the canyon range.
Cross canyon about 900 yards.
Yeah.
That's the problem. We were glassing an area where theoretically we wouldn't be able to make a play on anything without having at least an hour of daylight. So we did glass till nighttime, and we did hike down in the dark, but that was because we were just looking to see if we should stay there or if we're going to move spots more than at the last hour more than anything else.
Yeah, it was a great glassing point to kind of observe the whole area. And on the way down, we did, or at least you did some more glassing to
Yeah,
double check, you know.
yeah, we looked, and so if you think about it, we were on this like spire where it was kind of this stuck out where there's two canyon bases on either side, and we spent the entire day looking on the right canyon, and then on the way down we kind of looked into the left canyon that had actually promoted a lot of snow melt since we first got up there.
Yeah,
So we essentially just looked into that canyon bottom, looked around, saw a lot of log bears, which if you've gone spring bear hunting before, you know that when you're looking for bears, a log that kind of looks like an animal or a black dot in a snow basin is just gets you real excited and then real disappointed.
yeah. I got a lot of log bears in my eyesight yesterday.
Yeah, we
There
got
was a
up.
lot of sign though for bears in the
Not.
area.
I didn't see any sign personally.
A
A lot of
little,
a lot of deer, a lot of elk sign, a lot of good habitat
yeah,
potential. I would say. I wouldn't say sign. Um, Historically, I've hunted that area a few times before, and I've never really seen enough to justify going out there for like deer or elk or anything. So it was kind of a stretch. It was kind of out of desperation. We made that play.
yeah,
Essentially, I was kind of thinking about it in terms of like just showing Brad what we were kind of in for hunt wise, like what the strategy was, just glass, glass, glass. And I definitely think that it gave. We were up there from about. So we started our hike about 1:30. We got up there about 3:30 with all that climbing, maybe even three,
three, yeah,
three, yeah. So
close
about
to
an hour and a
three.
half climb, and we sat our asses up there until about 8 p.m.
Yep,
and we got back to the truck about 9.
yeah.
So
Long day.
long day, a lot of glassing, took a nap, ate some food. We built a fire on that ridge line, which was fantastic.
Yeah,
I
kept us
love
warm.
building fires out there. But now we're kind of looking, I'm actually looking at some hillsides right now that are looking nice and green.
Yeah, it's looking pretty decent the direction we're heading.
Yeah, direction wise, we're headed. Hopefully, we can get into something. If not, it's just been a scouting weekend kind of thing.
Yeah,
And we can always go out another weekend. But we're hoping to see at least a bear. That's my problem. I always feel like I go out a lot and I don't see the quantity of bears I want to see because I hunt high pressure areas for bears purely out of convenience. Um,
yeah,
and it's harder hunts, but this area we're going to, I've definitely seen bears at in the past. I've missed a bear here last year, so we're kind of just hoping to not, insanity is the definition of insanity is doing the same thing expecting different results. So we're trying to avoid going
yeah,
insane just by switching around spots. So essentially, we'll go into this spot tonight, go to the front side today, go to the back side tomorrow, and it'll kind of give us an idea. And our backup plan essentially is that if there's like too many people or for some reason we can't figure out a bike thing, we're gonna go pop around to a bunch of different like trailheads within this mountain range and just basically glass, look for timber roads, see what the snow levels are doing for tonight, and then make a decision on where to hunt for the big hunt tomorrow.
the
That's the only problem in my mind for when like resetting on a Saturday is that realistically our good hunt day is going to be tomorrow.
yeah. What are the temps tomorrow?
It's
I
going
don't
to be colder.
remember.
Today is like a prime temp
Yeah,
day. So that's why I really am hoping that we get there and we have it to ourselves.
yeah.
Which
Do
it
you
may not be the
think?
case, but
I was gonna say, yeah. If the even with the closures, do you think anyone else will be as ambitious as we are?
definitely. I mean, if people have horses, they'll use horses.
Right.
If people have this spot pegged, which a lot of people do, I'm pretty sure, they'll go out there. It's also a big recreation spot, so we might see people purely just walking the road.
Sure.
Um, so there could be pressure. I'm not saying it's a definite, but there might be some.
And with it landing on a weekend now too, it's definitely gonna
Yeah, we
popularity is gonna
oh,
go up.
definitely. I mean, if we didn't get that massive snowstorm on Thursday, I would say we are definitely in for dealing with some people, but that might be a deterrent where people are like, "Oh, I'm going to just go into the bottomlands, go hunt turkeys instead of dealing with the snowpack in the mountains." So that might be our saving grace.
That is true. There's, I feel like turkey hunting has become very popular lately. Do you agree with that statement?
I mean, it's always been real. It's always been more popular than bears. I mean, people have a hard time digesting like the thought of killing a bear, like if you're non-hunting.
Sure,
Um,
which I personally can't understand, but to each their own, I guess.
exactly. I mean, but I think turkey hunting, a lot of popular media. I mean, it's kind of like whitetails. Like turkeys and whitetails is what
Yeah,
most of the country hunts.
right.
So
So
people,
common.
oh shit, bro.
More traffic.
Yep, had to hit the brakes a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, essentially, God, we caught that instead of slamming into a truck.
We got a free left lane.
Yeah, it would have been fine. But essentially, most of the country hunts whitetails in the fall and turkeys in the spring.
Yeah.
That's just kind of like how it is. So when people move to Montana, especially from like the Midwest states, they're like all about the turkey
Turkeys.
hunt.
Yep.
And also like Montana residents, like if you don't like the taste of bear, just go turkey hunt because you're going insane not hunting and seeing everyone else go hunting.
And it, in their minds, it probably tastes better too.
Yeah, I mean, to each their own, unique tastes. Um, but essentially, also just this earlier season, it's nicer to stay in the bottomlands, look for
Yeah.
turkeys and river bottoms, kind of thing,
Right.
where it's warm, it's green, you're not dealing with snow levels. So
No hassle, basically.
yeah,
Not putting in that work
they're putting in work.
as much as we're trying to put in.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
what I'm getting
dedicated
to.
turkey hunters are fucking. They go for it. They'll go out and really send it for turkeys, which I respect. I know a lot of people that like elk hunting, go turkey hunting too. Similar kind of feeling hearing a gobble coming in towards you.
Yeah.
So there's that too.
Yeah. I can't find that excitement around a bird, to be honest. But
Me
like I said,
neither.
to each their own.
I mean, it is pretty cool hearing a gobble and stuff, but it's not really something I'm passionate about. But it's not something I'll dunk on.
Yeah. I feel like also just where I was raised had so many turkeys around us. They were just kind of rats on the road, always
Yeah,
in the way, eating
def-
shit that they shouldn't be. So
definitely is a slight. Definitely is like a growing up thing because I grew up and there's turkeys everywhere. Like in California, I think you can kill like 3 or 4 a year.
oh man,
Yeah, it's a lot. But um, when it comes down to it, I just would rather spend my time going for bears because I've never killed a bear.
yeah,
So I think that's like why I obsess over bears so much is purely out of like I wouldn't say lust, but desire to get
yeah,
it done.
and curiosity in a way.
Yes and no. I mean, I've eaten bear,
Yeah,
so
I
it's
guess
not.
that's where for me I haven't
Yeah, I mean,
really.
I've
So
eaten bear. I like the taste of bear sometimes when it's good bear, not trash bears.
yeah,
But
right.
yeah, either way,
Them East Coast Bears, trash
yeah.
bears.
Yeah, the New Jersey Bears.
Yeah.
Dude, they shut down my sister's campus at UCSB because they had a bear on campus the other day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
That's pretty crazy.
I know. That's another thing about bears. They're everywhere, but they're so hard to hunt in like Montana, spot and stock wise. That I love that challenge.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't mind waking up a little later,
Yeah.
hunting them in the afternoon. I
It
mean,
is nice.
you can hunt them in the morning. People do kill them in the morning. I just feel like every bear I've seen has been in the evening, and I feel like like media wise, that's when a lot of people see bears. We're
Um,
back.
sorry about that.
So
Almost just gave away our entire location.
yeah, I like saw a sign and I impulsively said it. I mean, realistically, the podcast isn't big enough for us to really worry about it. It just,
No, not at all.
I just always want to keep secrecy.
Yeah, those who are working hard to find spots will somehow find it. So
Yeah, this guy's going on a nice trail run. This is a good trail running road.
oh yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah. I've only been here one other time, and it was a little overcrowded, so I ended up going to a different spot.
fair enough.
But that wasn't even for hunting. That was just to camp
Mm-hmm.
in the summer.
Yeah, but I don't know. This game plan we have is going to be interesting. I am looking forward to seeing if it pans out or not.
Yeah,
It's a nice day out. Worst comes to worst, we take a walk and camp.
yeah.
We just
And
take
figure out
yeah,
plan C or D, whatever we're on now.
take the rifle for a walk.
Yeah,
That's essentially it. There's a lot of south slopes in the area, so we're in a good mountain range that I know bears are in. So,
oh yeah, for sure.
like I said before on the podcast that we did before, it's all about locating. Like once we locate, we're good. Definitely something to consider. One thing I will say tonight, we're going to be walking with rifles not strapped to the bag
Okay,
because we're going to be walking on this front side where there's a lot of thickets. So we literally could see one at like 80 yards.
sure. And on like log roads and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's going to be carrying the rifle around or keeping it side strapped. We'll see what the crowd's looking like. I have a guess that it's going to be a decent amount of people, but hopefully they're all recreating or they're not ballsy enough to go as far back as we're going to go. Never know.
Yeah, hopefully they're day packers or something.
Yeah. I mean, it's a hectic hike. Nice four-wheeler. Realized that he couldn't get it down the road, unfortunately,
Yeah.
probably.
Turned around,
Yeah.
calling his buddy. Oh shit!
Yeah, if I had to guess, hey, we can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't drive on that road, which that's why we got the bikes.
Oh yeah, I got bike pump, bike lock, and everything just to keep our. Oh, shout out to Mazzy and Brad Spice for the bikes that we're using today.
Yeah, I definitely think I'm using a women's bike.
Yeah, you totally are, but it's okay.
We're gonna pump up the tires.
It'll be better than our own 2 feet locking.
Yeah, that's if you want a way to perfectly toast your ankles, is do that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say what kind of road it is, but it is not fun. But we have a ways to go until we hit this trailhead. I'm wondering to see if it is gonna be open. If it's open, I low-key will be pissed.
How far down this part did they close it?
Oh, it's a while.
Oh,
now.
okay.
Yeah, we have a while.
I think I know where you're speaking then. Is it
Yeah.
at that big corner?
Yeah.
Yep, okay. I gotcha.
Yeah, but either way, I've seen a lot of moose in this
Yeah,
field right here.
I've seen some elk down here.
Yeah, there's a lot of wildlife around. It's a good area. This is all private property, and this is not a landowner that will give you permission.
No, not at all.
So,
it's a good spot for them.
Yeah, a good spot for them. I mean, you could theoretically take the high water mark all the way up, but
good luck to that person doing that.
Yeah, dude,
it's a big ambition.
That's a huge ambition. I'd rather just
I'll bike.
Yeah.
Oh,
but either way, we'll see what we end up doing. Worst comes to worst, we return the bike pump and lock and never gets used, which is a real possibility.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's gonna be interesting to bike with 60 pounds on the back.
I was just gonna say that, yeah. And then if we get something too, that's
gonna be
a lot of.
We're gonna have to do multiple trips.
Yeah, but with bikes, we can do it.
With bikes, we can do it. Like it's gonna be like a bring camp back first, then bring meat, and keep the meat hung up and it like aerated.
Yeah.
The only thing I worry about is grizzly country.
Yeah.
But hopefully, we'll just gut it quick and then we'll deal with it
as needed.
Yeah. Not chill. Big old sign.
Yeah.
but we will essentially deal with it as needed and get the guts out. They'll want to be on the guts first. I'm not taking any internal organs because of trick.
Okay. I
So
wasn't planning on it with the bear.
yeah,
So.
it's not like elk and deer where you want to grab
Yeah.
those hearts and stuff.
Right.
That's for sure. But we'll get the meat out of there. We'll debone. We'll like gut it. Get the meat quartered out quick with the hide. Realistically, with the pack that I'm running, we could do it into one trip. Like the initial ascent packs. They have those wings, so you can strap a quarter onto each wing, and then you can put meat. You can put meat and hide in the back. So that's kind of what I was thinking, and then you would be able to like carry loose meat in the front quarters,
Sure.
just all deboned.
I mean, yeah.
It'd be a heavy pack out, but it would be. Well,
I feel like
it'd be a safety thing where we might be slow,
Yeah.
but we won't be next to a gut pile,
Yeah.
and then
that
we
is
would
true.
spend the time deboning the meat back at camp and get the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. It will probably depend on how the road is with biking too.
Yeah, can't count our chickens until we get there, kind of thing.
Right.
You see where those trucks are ahead? That's
Yeah.
where we're going. There's 5 trucks.
Yes, there are.
Or 4. Yeah, 5.
5.
5 or 4.
4.
But
5.
you never know. We'll look and see if they might. I don't know if they're going to be hunting or what they're doing. Let's hope for recreators.
Yeah.
That's the hope. I don't think they're going to be recreators. A lot of them
I
are.
don't see any trailers, horse trailers.
Yeah. I don't see any either, so we could be in luck.
Yama trailers.
We're going to, before we do anything, we're going to read some signage and make sure that we're all above board. Because I'm not really trying to get fucked over by Mr. Green Jeans because I want to keep it legal.
Yeah, and I don't think bikes are anything against
No,
what the laws are.
definitely not. It's just more like leaving the truck there overnight. It
Oh,
could be
gotcha.
Like
Yeah.
if we have, like, worst comes to worst, we can't leave the truck there overnight. We still bike in. We leave the camp stuff in the truck, and then we go find a spot to camp.
I gotcha.
But that's a worst case scenario. Oh, yep, there's 5 trucks. And there's one person there, which I think I see orange.
Hey, we're not there yet.
Knock on wood. Hopefully we're chilling.
Well, we do got a backup plan if the worst case scenario does happen.
I mean, honestly, I think we can get there before them, unless they do have bikes themselves.
True that. We'll be riding past them.
Riding past them, it'd be a dick move, but mule deer herd,
Oh yeah.
cool little spot. Seeing them. There's a
Good
lot of
eyes.
snow still.
That's a road, yeah.
Yeah.
Up that?
No,
No.
you see that to the right?
I gotcha.
I see people walking a dog. So there's at least one truck of dog walkers. Just have to see
For
what
us.
we're doing. No matter what, I think we're gonna have to bike in. So the road's closed, which is good. It's just a matter of bike in with 60 pounds or with 25 pounds. Oh, another dog walking group. We might be good.
Oh, that's a separate one?
Yep. There's one dog walk. There's another dog walk.
Oh, I didn't even see those guys.
Yeah. There's that uphill bike path, but I mean, that's not a huge deal. We just have to read the signage. But either way, we'll pick this up at a later date. We're getting to the road.
Yeah. We'll see you guys back at camp later.
All right. Adios.
And we're back.
We are back. La Tour de Bruin did not work out as we had hoped.
Yeah, the bikes failed. But
It wasn't even the bikes.
yeah, it wasn't really the bikes. It was
It's
more
just-
so us.
Us and snow level.
Yeah, all the above.
Just
But
purely. Well, what we're noticing is that we're just battling this constant battle with the snow line where it's like we can go up there very easily. Like we could make it up there, but We could hike back there. We could do everything for sure. To no avail because there's just too much snow for us to plausibly see anything. Got on a four wheeler ripping by. But
Yeah. So
it's just like we're just making judgment calls out of like understanding that with that much snow on the ground, they're not going to want to be out and moving. That doesn't mean necessarily they're not going to be moving. It's just we're making our calls like we could go up that like up a few miles on the bikes and then post hole through snow for a few miles. And like we could theoretically see one, but the likelihood is just so decreased for so much work.
yeah,
So we decided we were gonna go and just find a new spot, just drive around. I kind of had a feeling that this hunt was gonna be like this purely based off the snow that came in on Thursday.
yep. And we got some notice from the local farmer. Wanted to check up, make sure we were doing everything correctly, and we actually chatted with him for a bit. And he mentioned, oh, there's some muleys.
That's a whitetail.
No.
Yeah, that's a whitetail. Just hanging
I'm
out.
looking on the left.
Oh,
That's also a whitetail, though.
those are all whitetails. A bunch of whitetail does just chilling in river bottoms.
Yeah, but anyways, we talked to this rancher, and
It was a branch hand.
okay, well, yeah, he had a walkie-talkie, so he was a big guy, and he mentioned there's a few grizzlies in the area. So
Yeah, they said like a residency of like half a dozen.
yeah, which is quite a bit if you're not from a area with bears.
You know, it's
Grizzly's a grizzly. You don't
grizzly's a
want to be wild.
grizzly. I mean, it just that wasn't really on my mind. I was more focused on like the amount of snow that we
Yeah.
were going to be dealing with,
As in,
and we kind of switched up the plan because we didn't know if we were allowed to park overnight, so we weren't even going to sleep out there.
yeah, we were gonna come back to the truck and move our campgrounds somewhere else for the night, and then come back in the morning. But with the like we were saying with the snow lines, just doesn't make
It doesn't make any sense.
doesn't make sense to put our effort towards all of this, and for what really? If there's this much snow, they're not going to be out.
Yeah, I mean, there is an argument for a bunch of sandhills. There's an argument for going out and getting steep and deep, but the reality is that we could get as steep and as deep as we wanted to, but they're not going to want to be out with this much snow on the ground. They're going to want to be in these bottomlands. They're going to be wanting these hills, somewhere where the greenery actually is. They don't really want to be in those steep mountain valleys yet because there's no food.
Exactly.
It's all just snow and dead brush. Like
Yeah.
you have to think about it like that. Like the foothill areas right now probably have tons of bears because there's tons of greenery. It's all new growth. It's warm down here. The river bottom's right there. They're not going to want to be in these deep, dark mountain crevices yet. They will get there. They will be there. I'm sure there's a few in there right now, but if I had to guess, they're still chilling out, not really moving around a lot.
Yeah. And in the area we're hunting, all the foothills and whatnot, it's all private, so
Yeah.
no way we're getting our hands on it down
I don't
here.
know. You can view it as us making excuses. You can view it as us quitting, but I think we're making a judgment call purely based off of like we went through this entire thing yesterday. We went up and we went steep, we went far ish, not very far, but we went steep and up, and we got to the glassing point and we glassed into these deep crevices and deep canyons and just saw nothing.
Yeah.
Completely different area. Could be density of bears. Could be a lot of things. But we played this game already, so I think what we're doing is just really readjusting and adapting. And I knew it was going to be kind of like this, especially with this early of a hunt. I think if it was mid-May, no matter what, we'd be getting back there just because they're out for sure. But
And we would have access fully.
Yeah, but then the thing is that with it being April still, it's just still so early. Like so many bears aren't moving around as much as they're gonna be in May, because it's April what 18th, 19th.
19. Yep.
Yeah, like realistically, May 15th is when I'm gonna start really going back in, like really hard.
Yeah.
Less snow, more feed. The bears will, there's no way in hell a bear's gonna still be sleeping.
Right.
Like, it's a nice day out today, but we have another pressure. Like, the pressure change is still there. We have a system coming in tomorrow night.
And even where the snow has melted, it's not super green yet. It's still pretty dead.
Yeah, it's
At
like
least up higher.
up higher in the foothills, like base elevation of like 4,000 to 5,000. It's green now,
Yeah.
but way we're standing looking, it's sitting pretty dead and cold. And I don't know. Maybe we're just bad hunters.
Nah.
Maybe we're just pussies, which could happen.
Yeah.
Could be the case.
Yeah, and like you said earlier, you have to make that call when you have that gut feeling. You got to make that call, and we made that call to head back the direction we came from and try a couple other spots, driving some roads, seeing what our options are really at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we've gone back to the drawing board 3 times now. Nope, the phone just dropped. But
That's okay.
we've been constantly adapting and playing things by ear.
You can put it right here if you want.
It should be fine right here.
Okay.
It was just like sitting up.
Gotcha.
But we've been playing it by ear. We've been, oh, look at all the bison.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, pretty cool. Some buffalo. That's a nice bull.
Just snap a quick picture while they're stopped.
All right. Mountain buffalo. This is.
Remember to check out the story at Prey Pursuit on Instagram to check out.
Are you seriously plugging while we're looking at a buffalo, bro?
Yeah, dude.
Enjoy nature.
I'm just making sure that our audience can enjoy it as well.
Oh, yeah.
So,
but who knows? I think when it coming back to the decision of readjusting and going back to the drawing board, it's an early season hunt. I love spring bear hunting, but this is kind of how you have to play it until that snow is gone. Like, when you start getting into mid to late May or a little bit of June, that's when you really start. I feel like for me, that's when I'm really motivated to go deep and dark. But I don't know. That's just me.
yeah, we'll see where the rest of the day takes us from here.
Yeah, there's no guarantees
Big
on what we
question
end
mark.
up doing. I mean, we could go back to spot number 1 on the backside. We could go up a few other spots up ahead. We could even readjust to a different part of the state.
Yeah.
Like, we have the time to do so now. It's 1 p.m. Realistically, I just want to be glassing our in bear country by 4:35.
Yeah, during that prime time of the day to be looking for them.
Looking for them then.
I'm thinking if these close spots don't work here, and if you're feeling it too, maybe head out towards that other range we saw yesterday that was looking more bear.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed. I think we just would need to
change
leave.
our settings.
Yeah,
like sooner than later. For sure.
We would just need to leave around like 3 p.m. maximum. If that's even then, that might be still too late.
Yeah, I was thinking earlier.
Yeah.
Find out within the next hour or so.
Yeah.
What we're looking at.
Right now, we're just battling snow lines. That's essentially what we're doing.
Yep.
Which, not terrible. It's the way things go early April, I guess. Oh.
But beautiful day nonetheless. We got the sun shining today. Hopefully some more snow could melt.
Yep, got a good workout in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
how far did we get, you think?
About 2 miles.
Yeah.
About
round trip.
2-ish, roughly.
But yeah, it was all uphill basically until the way back. But
round trip, no, I think round trip we got. So we had 1.8 left. It was 3.1 in total.
Oh man.
So maybe like 2.9. I can't do that math on top of my head right now. But like little under 3, a little over 2.
Yeah. Good estimates.
Roughly. But so yeah, we are going to spot number 4. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Either way, we'll keep it updated. I think we go all the way up top to the farthest spot first, and then work our way down the canyon.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like you can see right in front of us these foothills. This is what like the elevation we want to be hunting, while we're trying to hunt like what the top of these mountain ranges are with still like 2 to 3 feet of snow on them.
Yeah.
It's not fun, not chill.
Not at all.
Yeah, but either way, we'll keep you guys updated. This is kind of just been a debacle.
Yeah.
Not very great hunters. Maybe not super committed to going to get ourselves absolutely torched in some snow for maybe a bear.
Right. And I'm pretty novice, so myself. Yeah. So it's like, I want to get a bear and I want to work hard to get it, but I do draw my limitations. And
yeah, I mean, we're working around like your limitations as well as like our motivation levels.
Yeah, 100%.
Because we have no evidence that we should be going into those deep mountain canyons with tons and tons of snow.
Exactly.
And we have more evidence that maybe we should try to find a spot at lower elevation, better foothills with actual feed.
Yes.
So that's what we're doing. And I feel like that's a part, like, I feel like the 10-day, like, going out every single, like, in this same area, grinding it out is something that I definitely, like, have, like, aspired to do. I've gone for a few, like, 5 to 6 days before in a row and hunted the same area and grinded, and I definitely have liked those kind of hunts. But what I think is not highlighted enough is the realistically, when you're fortunate enough to have a tag like the Montana State bear tag, like black bear tag, and you can go to a ton of different spots in earlier seasons with worse conditions, like, and not prime time of year, the ability to bounce around spots is actually really, really nice, and it will actually help your hunt. Whether that's if you only have this weekend, maybe not. But like in my case or in Brad's case, we can like sneak away a weekend or two, or I can sneak away a week where we'll have some more like clarity and intel.
Yeah, a little bit more flexibility too with where.
Yeah, like for me, I have no real expectations of killing this trip. I have expectations of scouting.
Yeah, and I'm on the same page. I mentioned it definitely earlier, but just looking to get information on how to backcountry hunt, really, and get myself prepared.
Yeah, I mean, we're not really backcountry hunting.
Yeah, but got enough gear and enough understanding to be able to work it.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna be
work out kinks.
Camping. You're gonna kind of get the rundown on setting up camp, running the fire in the hot tent. We're kind of just
new aspect too with it being in the spring a little more chilly, where in the fall I won't have as much gear. I won't have a fire and all of that. Just a simple jet boil will do.
Yeah, exactly. So we're essentially working around the tail, like the dying kicks or the death thralls of winter right now.
Exactly.
Which come springtime, like, oh, that's a turkey. No, that's not a turkey. That's a bird. But I mean, come like middle of spring, like middle May, we could be running those lighter setups very easily. We probably won't. We'll probably run like the hot tent still, but
something to keep in mind at this point.
Yeah.
Is that we're gonna check that out later?
Later. We're gonna go up top to the farthest one first and then make our way down.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You'll have to point out which one is the furthest one.
Yeah.
Okay,
definitely.
Cool.
But
don't want to say anything on here, but yeah. I don't know. We'll update you as we keep going. It's just bouncing around at this rate.
Which is kind of how my expectation has been.
Yeah. I mean, it's all scouting.
When we went out scouting the other day, I was kind of more hopeful that we would get like an actual backpack hunt in. And then after the snowstorm on Thursday, I kind of knew it was going to be like this.
Yeah, I had that gut feeling as well. I went to work and it was snowing pretty hard. Got out of work, snow didn't disappear. In fact, it was snowing even harder by then. So I was like, all right, might be a little change in plans for this weekend, but that's all right. That's all part of it.
Yeah, adapting because we very easily could load up the packs, get back there, get back far, but the realistic thing is to what ends.
Right.
Because if we're sitting in a bunch of snow, it's not like mule deer hunting, you know? Like the mule deer can thrive in snow. They'll go out in snow. They're built for that kind of terrain. It's bears. They want to be in they want food. I mean, they're looking for food. And it's still early enough where they have the idea to, you know, this isn't a bad spot either. Steep as hell, but we could go up there.
Yeah, maybe check it out.
Yeah.
Well, on our right here, is that considered south facing,
On our right,
or is that yeah
I believe so.
like south
Like
west
east,
or yeah east? That's what I
southeast,
meant.
roughly. Not bad.
Wrong direction.
Yeah. A lot of scree.
But yeah, we'll keep you guys updated, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. All right. Later.
What's up, guys? We are back.
It's a little loud, buddy.
Sorry.
It's gonna be a little monotone because we're sitting in the tent. We got the fire going.
I just got excited.
Beers in hand. After a long, long day of bear hunting.
Oh yeah. But now
Brad,
we're
you
at
want?
the fun part.
Yeah, we're at the fun part. Brad, you want to recap?
Yeah, let's do it. So, place one, we talked about a little bit.
La Tour de Bruin.
Yeah, trying to
I said that
bike.
low key in a Norwegian accent, not a French one. But anyway, La Tour de Bruin.
Yeah. Um. So that spot, we bounced around to spot number 2, which honestly was pretty decent.
It looked so good hiking in.
Yeah, there wasn't much snow at the beginning.
No, I mean, so it's mostly southward facing slopes, but so we got after our failed attempt at biking up to spot number 1, which was partially impacted by the amount of snow we were seeing. We decided to go up a few miles to spot number 2, which had a lot better slope conditions, a lot better grazing area. We got about what 2.5, 3 miles back there.
Yeah,
The snow started piling up probably around like mile 2,
yeah,
and
by mile
we
2 for sure.
yeah we got back there. It looked so good. There's berries, there's wildflowers. It looks like there's bears in there. We saw some old bear sign roughly at the very beginning, and like at this like one campground area that's like a few miles back there. Besides that, nothing else to really validate that we like saw anything.
Right.
So from there, we kind of made a judgment call where we didn't want to spend another day just kind of aimlessly walking around that site. So we moved spots again. This time, Brad wanted the full experience. So we're sitting in the tent. We got the Peaks Torrid stove going. Unfortunately, we have some wet wood, so we have to have a little ventilation from the door in front of us, but it's keeping us decently warm. I mean, the fire is fairly low because we only had so much dry wood. We were going to stop at a gas station on the way there to grab a quart, but just never came to fruition.
Yeah. But this little stove is awesome.
It's cool. I like it. This setup's pretty nice. I'm running the Luna Bears or the Luna 6 from Bear Paw Wilderness as a tent.
Very spacious.
It's spacious, but it honestly is the footprint of a 4-person tent in the and that claims to be a 6.
Yeah,
Imagine trying to fit
I don't
6
imagine. I
people in
couldn't.
here. Yeah, we
Like
couldn't.
we couldn't with the stove.
No.
Not at all.
No, my guess is that they overestimate on it. Just an opinion, but
Yeah,
the
but I feel
next
like a lot of companies do that with their tents,
yeah,
especially.
my next big purchase is going to be that Peak Solitude 4-person tent.
Mm-hmm.
That's my next big purchase. It's like $600, but the thing is the shit.
Why is that?
Um,
Exactly.
well, big footprint. it has a special like stove jack just for this peaks towards stove, so it pairs really
Ooh,
well.
gotcha.
So right now it's kind of at this weird angle where the door's facing us. Instead, it's right at the back and it faces away.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah,
we would
yeah, yeah.
have all the room, and then this area where our wood is where the stove would be right up here.
Sure.
That, and also they designed it where their trekking poles can sit at the top, so you can hang stuff from the top and dry
Oh
it
wow,
next to the chimney.
that's awesome.
So that's the next big purchase.
Yeah, that'll be great.
But yeah, this is my first official night in this tent.
Really.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already talking about a new tent, but I think there's things that could easily be improved.
I mean, I can't disagree with that,
Yeah, you know.
but
But yeah, we have the tripod
it's
and
a work in progress
yeah,
too. It's your first time.
yeah,
It's
true.
just,
We have the
still getting used to it. Still gotta break it in.
yeah. I mean, we also what's nice is that we also have the Zulu set up on the Tricer tripod, about to go watch a little home movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a nice setup.
yeah.
I'm impressed. I didn't expect a whole movie theater and a stove in the tent.
Yep, we're definitely living like kings, smoky kings. It's a little smoky in here from the wood, to say the
Yeah,
least.
super wet wood, but I still can't complain when I'm warm.
No, and then we got a few beers.
Yeah, we got some shout out to Wisconsin for some spotted cows, some new Glarus.
Nice, but
Home sweet home.
um, we both took sleeping aids, so we're a little delirious.
Yeah.
We also watched randomly. For context, I'm Jewish, but I decided today was the day to watch Passion of the Christ for the first time.
Yeah, and more like most fitting weekend for that ever
I
being
know it's
Easter weekend.
Easter, but
Happy
dude,
Easter, everyone, by the way. It's
yeah,
probably past Easter by the time you hear that.
but yeah, for some reason, my Jewish ass self was like, "Yeah, let's watch Passion of the Christ." um, I also made a little commitment to the universe that if we killed a bear today, that I would maybe consider being a Christian. But we did not kill a bear today, so we are sticking with the
Hey,
Jews.
give them another day. Maybe an Easter miracle will
No, no, I made a 1 day commitment
happen.
with the universe.
It's Jesus' day tomorrow.
Uh-huh. We'll see. We're heading back tomorrow night. We decided Monday we're gonna get some showers here theoretically, but Monday for sure. So we're heading back to Monday. That's kind of a non-starter at this point. Like we're doing that for sure.
100%.
Um, I'm trying to think. Just beat to shit from a long weekend on a lot of miles and a lot of snow miles, which I don't know if you guys know, but when you're hiking in the snow, just that extra little bit of resistance just makes it feel so much worse.
Yeah, but it's been a good experience, a good scout on all directions, really. We've really gone every direction we
We've
possibly
gone,
could in the area.
yeah, within a theoretical area we were gonna hunt like a probably 150-mile square area. We've gone to like 3 of the 4 corners of it at this point. Not 150 miles, maybe like a 50.
Yeah.
But we put some miles on our with the quads God gave us. We did it.
Hell yeah.
But La Tour de Bruin unfortunately was not a success. Um,
That's
last
alright.
last night original spot wasn't a success. Spot number 3 was not a success. A lot of learning going on though.
Yeah.
A lot of things to look for. A lot of glassing. Like getting behind the glass has definitely been a main part of our hunt plan.
Oh yeah.
And like I usually hate
It's pretty
glassing.
mandatory.
Yeah, I hate glassing usually. I'm archery elk, so I'm like always trying to go, go, go. So it's been a good lesson in like patience.
Oh yeah.
So
It's reminded me a lot like hunting back home in the deer stand, just sitting around and waiting. Um,
a
which isn't
little
always a
little
bad
more
thing.
hiking.
Yeah, definitely more hiking, but like in that aspect. I like
Yeah.
to relate things back to that.
Oh yeah. I mean that's what you know. I
Exactly.
only know this.
Reminds me of home a little bit.
Uh, But yeah, tomorrow our game plan is to wake up, make some coffee, chill out, maybe watch some TV. Um, Around noon ish, we'll start getting shit ready, and then we're gonna do a little bit of an earlier kind of hunt where we'll leave around like 1. Probably get back to the truck around 6 or 7, something like, and just sit on a glass knob and glass and glass and glass, and then tomorrow night spend the night in the beds and call it a good hunt. Just
Yep.
the way she plays out, kind of thing, where it's not worth it for us to hunt Monday because we need to be back. I need to be back by 6 p.m. on Monday, so we can't even hit prime hours for bears.
Sure. And I mean, with the weather, doubtful it'll be out.
Yeah, we'll see what the weather's doing because we never know. If it's pissing rain when we wake up, we will be heading home.
Yeah.
Based off
Not,
forecasts.
not trying to sit out in the rain.
Yeah, for those who don't know, bears will not move in the mountains when it's raining. They will sit their asses down. And one thing we've been kind of weaving to conjuncture is we're trying to figure out if the bears are even awake yet. Because we've been looking and we've been trying.
And today, I don't know, every spot we went to keeps getting better and better type of thing.
Yeah.
And
We're getting closer. I mean, today we
yeah,
saw an elk herd. Yesterday we saw muleys,
yeah.
turkeys.
There's an odd spook with the elk.
Yeah, they kind of
It
just
caught
running
our
around.
attention.
They're just tweaking.
Yeah, but we like saw the one at first, and there was a couple,
Yeah.
and then kind of grew into a larger herd of like 8 to 10. Would you say?
Yeah, about 10, roughly.
And they just started running down the little foothill we were watching them, blasting them on,
Mm-hmm.
and caught our attention, but turned out to be nothing. So
Yeah. Dude, I'm being so
unfortunately,
real. This melatonin beer
it's
combo is
kicking,
kicking
dude.
hard. That and the miles we put on today.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put on that movie, guys, before Quentin falls asleep, and I'm out of luck.
Yeah, I sleep so well in the mountains. Like, it's ridiculous. Even with these screaming
I was
teenagers next
gonna
to us.
say, oh my gosh,
Yeah, we're at this campsite, like an established campsite, just only place that wasn't like full of snow or mud
and open.
and open. There's a bunch of teenagers, and like you can't blame them. I've been there.
Yeah, I've had my days.
I've had my days, but I'm like, bro, it's like 11 at night. I'm trying to sleep.
Yeah, they walked over while we were setting up, and they asked if we needed a jump,
I'm like,
which is
no.
nice, I guess.
It was
But
very nice, very considerate, but we're like, no, we're
we're
sleeping here.
also camping at the campsite, believe it
Yeah,
or not.
crazy. I mean,
Yeah,
to be fair, we're the only ones up here.
yeah. But we got a pretty legit setup. I'm surprised they asked. Like we had
Well,
headlamps
it's
too.
blocked by
It's
the
like,
truck.
yeah, true. Which is nice too. Probably blocking some wind.
Yeah. I mean, the wind's coming from the east, so we're not really getting
Oh,
a wind block, but
just kidding.
you know, it is.
Unless it switches up.
Well, at least the tent's ventilated now. We had a little bit of a smoke room going, which was not a lot of fun, but now fire's dying. We're kind of by design almost because I knew I was going to get tired quick. And I don't know.
Yeah. I guess that wraps it up for day 2.
Yep, day 3, final day tomorrow.
And I'll talk to you guys then. See ya.
Peace.
Alright, guys, thank you for tuning in today. Like I said earlier, be sure to follow for the latest updates on episode 2. It should be coming out later this week. It's just going to be about day 3 and our recap and what our plan is come the rest of this season. So, thanks for following along, and the support keeps us motivated, so we really appreciate it. See you next time.